the day, Valentine's Day coming up, as you know, most of us know that day, February the 14th. Talk to us a little bit about that, and what should we as conscious people really perceive from this?
Okay, what you're going to have to do is, you must understand that the people who set up this country, although you heard about St. Valentine and they cut out his heart and these types of things, most of these things actually come from ancient mythology. And because the people who decided, they made one thing that was key. When they decided, when it came to holidays, that they would be based on ancient arcane knowledge and wisdom. Just like, like Christmas is the winter solstice, but it's also December the 25th was the birthday of the god Mithra, which was a form of Horus and Osiris, born in a cave. You see, born in a cave, and Mithra later on that birthday was replaced with Jesus. You see what I'm saying, with the whole winter solstice.
Right.
You see, so it's a spiritual day. It's the birthday of Heru or Horus. So my point here is, if you understand the original meanings, believe me, they don't put holidays, you see, that's going to be detrimental to the functioning of their society. Those holidays, you best believe, are cardinal points of energy and things that is needed because they got it from the ancient fathers. Mainly, most of the American holidays was introduced by them when the Moors ruled Spain for 700 years. You see what I'm saying? Like Thanksgiving. There's a Thanksgiving ritual in most customs in most cultures. There's a Thanksgiving festival in the Dead Sea Scrolls. You see what I'm saying? So, but you get the whole turkey thing. So what they will do is they will take these ancient holidays, and which would be winter solstice, summer solstice, spring equinox, vernal equinox, fall equinox. You see what I'm saying? And these different cycles of the moon, the sun and the moon, and basically they will put a new mythology over it, or a new historical thing. So the Thanksgiving ritual becomes the pilgrims with the turkey, but it existed long before that. You see, so therefore you always try to look for the esoteric meaning of those particular days. Now, because Valentine's Day is dealing with the heart and dealing with the love and dealing with those types of things, then we know that it has something to do with the heart chakra.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And the ancient goddess in the African arcane mystery, Urzuli. Urzuli is the god with her symbol is the heart-shaped goddess.
Right.
But Urzuli is ancient Aphrodite in what is which is later on Greece, but originally Phoenician. Aphrodite. And Aphrodite is celebrated as Het Heru in Egypt. So Het Heru is probably the oldest origin of Aphrodite, Urzuli, Ishtar, Anana. The goddess Lakshmi is the goddess of love. You see what I'm saying? In India.
Right.
So what you do is you redirect that energy back to its arcane or ancient meaning, and then go with it. So and then go with it. So therefore, you can do certain rituals to line up to Urzuli, the African goddess, Oshun, which I think her day is Friday. I think her day is Friday.
Friday, yes, I believe.
Is it Friday? Well, let somebody out there versed in Europe, when they call in. I think it's Friday, so Friday the 13th is an Oshun number. You see, but Oshun is also a goddess of love. You see, so a goddess of love. So therefore, on the male side, it would be the god Shiva, the god of love and romance. The god, it was just later on the god Dionysus in Phoenician, then later Greece, but also the god Osiris was a great lover. That's why you see Osiris standing between his two women, two sisters. He was such a great lover. He turned out two sisters, Isis and Nephthys, or Aset and Nephthys. You see, he's standing between them. The same picture he's standing between, they later reproduced as the Mac in the 1970s. And you will realize the origin of how these things come about. But in so many words, That's called the great lover. The god Krishna is the great lover. The god Vishnu is the great lover. The god Osiris is the great lover. You see what I'm saying? So the god Dionysus is the great lover. You see. And all these African gods are ancient indigenous gods from in one time or another. You see. So so my point here is you use that holiday to polarize Isis and Osiris, Shiva and Parvati, Lakshmi and Vishnu, Solomon and Shiva, because these are mythological characters. There's never no Solomon. I don't want to bust people religious bubbles, but there's never no. These people never existed historically. They are archetypes of the collective unconsciousness, and they are forms of your energy within you. And later on, they were historicalized. Solomon and Shiva is nothing but the Isis and Osiris myth. You see what I'm saying? That later on, the Hebrews had the same one, but they historicalized things at one point and made these myths and tried to formalize a form of history behind them. You see what I'm saying? History behind them. But you can go, there's pharaohs that existed thousands of years before the myth of these so-called historical people, but you ain't never been able to find no biblical patriarch grave. And they were later. But yet you can go to Hemmitt, and we got mummies traveling around the earth right now where they found the historical people. That meant that those people never existed. You see, why is it so hard? Can you give me one grave? Hell, if Egypt can produce, or Hemmitt can produce thousands of bodies, can you give me one grave out of the Hebrew thing? You see, just one? Give me a grave of Moses. You see?
Right.
But Moses is nothing but the god Tahuti. You see. So these are mythological archetypes of the collective unconsciousness designed to raise you to a spiritual level, later on historicalized. You see, so just, But anyway, going back, we'll give this date to Erzuli in this particular case, or Het Heru.
Or Het Heru, let's do that.
Het Heru, Hathor.
That's it. That's the energy I come in as well.
That's it. Yeah, the Het Heru. So we'll give it to Erzuli in the Voodoo, Oshun in the Yoruba, and Het Heru in the Egyptian. And for the people that's been turned on, we'll give it also to Lakshmi in the East Indian. You see what I'm saying? The god Tara in the Tibet, and the goddess Tara in Tibet, and the goddess Kuan Yin in Asia. You see, and the goddess Brigitte also in the Voodoo. She'd have a sacred marriage to the deity Baron Samedi, the ones that rule over the graveyard. It's a beautiful day.
Yes.
You just open up and find out that everything is everything. You see, you just got to just trace it back.
That's it.